What's going on, MGTOW Nation, Red Pill Nation, Black Pill Nation? This is Renegade #1, aka the Feminist Killer, hashtag Logitorian. Government control, aka MK Ultra. That's what some of you guys call it, right? Well, I just want to say this. I think you guys should abandon the mainstream media. The only thing you should use the media for is pretty much getting the weather update. But sometimes they can't even predict that correctly. When you look at the news and, most of these mainstream media outlets, they're only reporting what they're supposed to report. The truth is always distorted, because the ultimate objective is to keep the people from panicking. You understand? That's why they will never really tell you the truth, because the truth is, if you believe the truth is always going to make you feel good, or the truth is somewhat mild, you're already confused. You understand? That's what the mainstream media wants to do. The mainstream media wants to create a state of confusion for the majority of people in the world, for the majority of the people in this country, right? That's why you have to rely on your own self-intelligence. You have to rely on people who are uncensored. You have to rely on people who are not trying to, work for the masses. You understand? That's why I say politicians can't be trusted. They have an agenda already at stake. There's an ulterior motive. Whether we know it or not, that's up to us to find out. You understand? Why do you think they don't want us to be intelligent? They don't want us to have high IQs. You understand? They don't want us to have a sharp mindset. And why do I say that? I think, obviously, some of you may disagree, some of you may agree. The heavy promotion in technology. I'm not saying you need to do everything manually, but part of doing things manually without technological assistance is you keep your mindset sharp. The brain is a muscle. It needs to be worked out every day. Or if you don't use your brain, you're not gonna be able to have a high cognitive ability of doing anything on your own. So again, I was going to ask the question, why do you think they promote technology so much? They want to keep you dumb. They always tell you need to be updated on your phone. Get the latest iPhone. I think the iPhone 11. I said that in my last video. You need to keep up with the latest car, with all the up-to-date accessories. Me personally, I just got a phone. I just got a phone. But I'm not really into that type of stuff. I don't need to be updated with that type of stuff. Technology produces, like I said, a low IQ. It keeps people stupid. It keeps people dependent. You understand? And so when I compare, if you grew up in the 80s, the 70s, where there wasn't an abundance of technology, most of you say this about millennials today. Oh, you guys don't do anything. You guys don't know how to think. You guys are heavily relying on technology. You guys may say things like that, and it's true. Me personally, I do feel like the attention span. I can see technology has increased short attention span. It's made people have memory loss issues. It's an increase in depression due to the social media and people, being worried about how they look, all those type of things. Technology's becoming an issue. You understand? People are being mind controlled. Governed. This is part of the agenda that they want you to think. I'm trying to tell you that you have to unplug from that. The truth of the matter is, technology is a manipulation tactic. Commercials, right? The ultimate political agenda is to produce more revenue. It's always been about money. Business before humanity. Period. So my thing is, this is what you got to understand. We are all human subjects. They don't give a fuck about us. You understand? They don't. Period. The government officials, they're the puppet masters. Ultimately, we are the experiment, right? And no matter how many people die, they're gonna always have a well-prepared lie already in place. And for example, I would use the 9/11 attack, right? The September 11, 2001 attack, right? 3,700 people died. My thing is, the Central Intelligence Agency, they helped create the enemy to help destroy us. Osama bin Laden, right? A lot of us want to say, you know, fuck the Muslims, fuck Al Qaeda, you know, all those guys. But they're not the real enemy. We are an enemy to ourselves. Don't you get that? We created our own destruction. We funded our own annihilation. Just like how we're funding our own annihilation right now. With the whole feminist movement, with the whole promotion of all these degenerate movements. We're destroying ourselves as we speak. As a Homo sapien species, or you know, as humanity as a whole, we are creating, we're trying to normalize abnormal living conditions, for lack of a better word. So we have to realize what's going on out here. We really do. And so my thing is, you know, I was talking to a brother, and he told me he's a patriot. I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not a patriot. I can give a fuck about what country I live in, because guess what? At the end of the day, this country is not yours. I don't give a fuck if you pay taxes, how long you been here, if you were in the military. This country is not yours. You understand? The military, I perceive them as the government's bodyguard. They're already. I'll say this: people in the military, to me, no disrespect, they are a clear representation of the MK Ultra or the government mind control, because they can't think for themselves. They are the epitome of the blue pillars. They are the Agent Smiths. They fight to keep you within the simulation. I don't depend on the police. I don't depend on the military to fight for me. You understand? I don't depend on Homeland Security. The government don't care about me. The government don't care about you. That's what you have to realize. The government's number one objective, or the number one question when brainstorming new ideas, are, how can I keep the masses manipulated and controlled and misinformed? That's what you have to realize. You have a disease. I have a disease. Most of us, most of the time, are on our iPhones, always, doing whatever we're doing. They're keeping us hypnotized. You can't stay off your phone for more than a day, you have a problem. If you can't stay off your phone for more than 3 hours, you have a problem. That's why I turn my phone off. You understand? Technology clouds your judgment. It inhibits your IQ from increasing. You don't need to be that reliant on technology. I'm just going to say that. But understand that we are the rats. We're being experimented on. Another thing, as far as the Patriot thing is concerned, like I said, this country is not yours. This is obviously we reside in this land, but other than that, we're just taking up space. You understand? This country is a melting pot. We're losing it to the liberals. That's why, like, for me personally, my country, I'm gonna tell you my country is MGTOW. My country is the black pill philosophy, is myself. That's my country. I'm not fighting for everybody. I don't give a fuck. You know, some of you may be offended by what I said. I mean, it's too bad. I'll be honest with you, it's too damn bad. None of this is ours. We just here to rent. You understand? When it's the same thing with if you know this government is shady, if you know this country is shady, why even? I can't even fathom the thought of even calling myself a patriot. I wouldn't want to fight for this shit. Period. And what brings me to my next point is we need to create our own militia. We need to, and the reason I say that is because this is the red pill army or the black pill army. We need to create a black pill army. And I'm not just saying have guns and bulletproof vests and all that other stuff. What I'm saying is you have to have the mind is the biggest weapon, right? So if the government controls your mind, you are the government's weapon. It's not the guns that's the weapon. It's the mind that's the weapon. Use your mind to your advantage. And so most of us who are black pilled or red pilled, preferably black pilled, our minds are uncontrolled. So the most dangerous threat to a government is people who are not controlled and people who don't give a fuck about the mainstream ideas. We are threats. We need to go to war with these people. This is a war of ideas, ultimately. And pretty much you have to understand that this is not a world that we live in. It's a prison that we live in. You understand? Like I told you, how do I keep these people's minds imprisoned, shackled, chained up in a cage? Because that's the problem with these blue pill people. Their mind is imprisoned. Just because you're not locked up physically does not mean you're not imprisoned. Your mind is still imprisoned. And it's very important for you guys to understand. Look beyond the physical. Look beyond the physical and think about it. Think about the ideas that they're trying to convey to you. They're preaching conformity. That's why I say the country that we live in it's not yours. They're pressuring you to conform to all these ideas that obviously make no sense whatsoever. That's why I say the pressure of conformity lets you know that this is not your country. You understand? We are approaching communism. The U.S. is going to be taken over by China real soon anyway. Let's be honest. As we speak. As this video is being made by Renegade #1, I will say this. We are being taken over. Period. But the ultimate thing I want you guys to understand is we need to come together. And what do I mean by come together? We need to have a militant mindset. If you don't read, you won't learn, you won't grow, you'll remain reliant on, the mainstream thoughts of what the world or what the government wants you to hear. You understand? The government should not be your teacher. The media should not be your teacher. Learn to get off of your phone. Learn to spend 30 minutes to an hour a day doing research. It will help you grow as an individual, man. Like I said, we need to start getting each other's phone numbers. We need to start talking in person. We need to start brainstorming ideas. It shouldn't just be one person or two. It's not about females. Like I said, it's beyond female nature. It's beyond the physical. It's a war of words. It's a war of ideas. And ultimately, we got something in store for the future as far as the MGTOW community is concerned. So I just want y'all to know that. Like the video, share, subscribe. Peace.